Hi friends, we are here with today's questions on enzymology. These are true and false type of questions. So let us have a look at the first question. We have to answer this whether it is true or false. The first question, it states that the initial rate of the enzyme catalyzed reaction is independent of the substrate concentration. If you look at this, like if you plot a graph of velocity or the rate of reaction which is catalyzed by the enzyme versus your substrate concentration, we know that this gives a typical hyperbolic curve, right? So if you look at the initial kind of a reaction which we refer to as V0, so here you see as the concentration of substrate it changes, the velocity also it keeps on increasing. So in the initial part of the reaction, right, the velocity is dependent on the concentration of the substrate. You change the concentration of the substrate, the velocity it also changes. So here it states that it is independent of the substrate concentration. So this statement is false because in the initial part it is dependent on the concentration of the substrate. Okay. So the second question, it reads as, at saturating levels of the substrate concentration, the rate of an enzyme catalyzed reaction is proportional to the enzyme concentration. Now they are talking about the part of the curve is the same curve where there is a saturating concentration of the substrate. So all your enzyme molecules, they are occupied with the substrate molecules. So after that, if you increase the concentration of the substrate, there is no increase in the velocity of the reaction. But here they have told that at saturating levels of substrate concentration, rate of enzyme catalyzed reaction is proportional to the enzyme concentration. Now if I increase the concentration of the enzyme, so if I had 100 molecules of enzymes, 100 molecules of substrate will bind with it. If there is only single binding site on the surface of the enzyme, if there are 200 molecules now, the Vmax it will increase. So we know that Vmax is dependent on the concentration of the enzyme. So the statement which says that at saturating levels it is proportional, the velocity is proportional to the enzyme concentration, it is true. So if you increase the concentration of the enzyme, more enzyme molecules will be involved and therefore the rate of reaction it will also increase. Stay tuned with us for more such questions related to microbiology, biochemistry and much more. Thank you.